Good. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Jason. I go by J Swipes. I'm a 22-year-old owner, operator, and fleet owner in the New York, New Jersey area, and I document my life in hopes that the information that I bring gives value to you in some type of way, shape, or form. I just finished taking a couple driving lessons with a buddy of mine, but I had to pick up the camera and talk about this controversial topic. The topic that's going around the trucking industry is it a good time to get into the trucking industry right now? And honestly, this all depends on the position that you're in financially and also mentally. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to make the decision on whether you want to get in now or whether you want to wait. In order for me to answer that question, you first need to understand the times that we're in. We are in an economical crisis. Interest rates are up 8.5%. Everything is getting more expensive. The dollar is giving you less and less buying power as the days go by. You aren't able to get as much bang for your buck as you were a couple years ago, which is leaving a lot of people struggling, and most importantly, business owners. Trucking industry is one industry that's getting highly impacted by this. And I hate to be the party pooper, but this is literally survival of the fittest, and not everybody's gonna make it out in these times. So here's the start of that answer to everybody's question. The startup cost of an owner-operator has almost tripled. Truck prices are ridiculously expensive. Older model trucks with higher mileages are selling for the same price that brand new trucks are going for. Insurance down payment and insurance monthly payments have gone through the roof for box trucks, so I can only imagine what it's like for the semis. Expensive maintenance and downtime is leaving a lot of money on the table that could have potentially been made. I say that to say this: if you're somebody who is tight on money or is looking to get into the trucking business with a couple $1,000s hoping to make a boatload of money, and this honestly might not be the right time for you to get in with a tight budget into the trucking business. If you're somebody who does not have a very comfortable financial pillow, then you're gonna struggle in the trucking business just because of the times that we're in. One of the main reasons is the spot market, which is load boards. Now, these loads aren't paying what they're supposed to be paying truck drivers to move this freight from one place to another. Most people become owner-operators so that they can run it up on the load boards and negotiate the price that they're willing to move their trucks for from point A to point B. Freight has been taking over the market lately, and I'm talking $1.80 and below for loads going damn near across the country. Trucking industry is very oversaturated with newbies who have so much money invested into the business that they'd rather take cheap freight and run their truck for a loss instead of standing up to these brokers and making them pay what they're supposed to pay for these loads. Of course, that hurts everybody in the trucking industry that actually know their worth. High startup cost plus high expenses plus cheap rates equals a nightmare for owner operators because that digs into your profit. Don't get me wrong, there is still a lot of money to be made in this industry. This doesn't mean that you can't make money with trucks. This just means that it's getting a little bit more difficult for you to make that boatload of money that you could have made years ago if you got into the trucking industry early. Literally in the start of a recession, but you need to understand that some people thrive and some people die in times of recession. It's the survival of the fittest at its finest, but really it's all about how you position yourself. All about how you set yourself up for success, because when there is fear in the market, that's when you want to hop in and take advantage. Now, when there's a lot of greed and hype in the market, that's when you want to take a step back and reevaluate. Now, you can either do one of these few things. You can either work your job and stack your bread until everything goes back to normal, whenever that is, so that you can have a good startup bag when you want to go owner operator, or you can run this play. Even though we're in an economical crisis, surprisingly, there's still a shortage of CDL Class A drivers across the United States. To avoid those high startup costs and expenses, this is what you do. Find a large company like Swift, Schneider, Prime, CH Robinson, etc. that have paid CDL programs. Now, they actually train you at their facility, and they even pay you weekly until you officially get your CDL license. Cool thing about this is they actually hire you on the spot upon completion of your CDL exam. You now have a 1-year contract with that company to work for them as a CDL driver, which is actually pretty cool. During this time, you have to be very smart and strategic. You can stack your bread during this time and get as much experience as you possibly can running under this company. You got to understand you're running under their authority, which means if you mess up in some type of way, shape, or form, it's not gonna hurt you or your company because you're running under them. You can not only earn money and experience, but you're also gonna have the chance to build many relationships and connections, which in the long run is gonna help you out when you go owner operator, because you now know that you can get your foot in the door much easier. All in all, for the ones that are hungry and the ones that know that they can survive through this economical crisis, you guys can definitely come in the game and run it up through these difficult times. If you're somebody with a tight budget and you want to go owner operator, this might not be the best time for you to do that, but I gave you guys the play to not have the high startup costs and the expenses by leveraging these large companies that actually pay for you to get your CDL and hire you on the spot. Yes, you will have a 1-year contract with them. You are kind of obligated to work for them for a year. If you want to break that contract and leave before that year is up, you are going to have to pay for your CDL training, which is probably going to be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. So save yourself that money, leverage these big companies in this crazy time that we're in, set yourself up for success with this recession. Make sure you drop your opinion in the comments down below. Let me know how you feel about everything that's going on. Let me know how you feel the trucking industry is going to play out in the near future. And like always, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video. That being said, family, I love you guys. Let's get it.